Last week's 24-hour challenge was crazy, but it was a little janky. So in this video, we're going to be rebuilding it, making it stronger, adding twin turbos, and hopefully reaching 300 horsepower.
We're going to pick up an F1 body for our go-kart, and there's this giant hill before you get to Seattle. We're stuck at 3,000. We were blasting that nice, icy cold AC, and now we're having a couple car issues.
We're stuck out here in the middle of nowhere.
You want me to show you something?
Yes.
Look at the AC belt.
God. It'll make it. It'll make it.
We're almost there. 5 hours of driving for a little go-kart body. There's just no go-karts anywhere around us, so we gotta go out here to the boonies of Washington and find F1 go-kart bodies.
5 hours away.
Oh man, that's like a little airplane on the roof of this thing. There's so many bugs.
It was basically just a bug blasting wall.
Honestly, I can't believe that we spent $75 on this go-kart. Like, it's completely broken.
It's pretty broken.
And it's made out of plastic. But this go-kart body is from the 60s, so being as old as it is, it's kind of impressive that it's still around.
It probably thought it was dead, but
Now it's going to be on a twin turbo 300 horsepower go-kart. Oh, bro. That is perfect. That's like the same size. We're at the junkyard looking for turbos.
yeah, it's nice.
I remember they have like a giant pile of turbos around here somewhere, so
We're gonna find it.
we're gonna find it. Hopefully find two similar turbos that are in good condition. We should just get an engine from the junkyard with the front wheel drive transmission like that, like this thing over here,
Oh yeah.
and then connect it to a go-kart.
This is huge. This is massive.
The big boy go-kart. It's a 3-cylinder that looks like it was in a bit of a fire. So we thought they had a giant pile of turbos. They had one last time I was here. They just had this giant mountain of turbos at the junkyard.
And now they don't.
They have no turbos at the junkyard unless they're on cars. So this might become quite a little bit of a mission. We've got 2 hours and a couple minutes to get the turbo out of this car and the yellow car over there. But the good thing about having to pull this stuff off of 2 cars at the junkyard instead of just going through a bin is we're gonna know they're the exact same. I think the turbo is loosening because this screw is getting really hard to... The screw's about to break or there's a big turbo on the other end of it. What's the other options? We need a turbo and we need it fast.
Oh. Oh God. How you feeling down under there?
Oily and dry and hot. We had to take the oil return out of the block and now it's just dripping on me and it's like also hot. It'd be nice if it was cold oil.
Oh.
Oh God. I got it. It's coming out, dude. We just gotta get past the last. Sure.
Oh my God.
Always something else is connected. Yeah. Before we go adding a whole lot more power to the go-kart, we're gonna need to do a couple of things to strengthen it up. This was built in 24 hours. It makes a lot of power with a CBR 1000 engine in it, but it's gonna make a ton more with a shot of nitrous and 2 turbos. So I wanna make sure it can shift, and that it can brake, because that's the most important part, and we didn't have that last test run. So I'm just taking a second to straighten some things up and just rebuild a couple of things so that they're stronger and so that we don't have a catastrophic failure and possibly an injury. I've been playing with the brakes a little bit, and I think I've found a solution. I'm gonna take the master cylinder from over there, bring it over here, and then I'm gonna take this 9mm to 7mm that we never use and cut it, weld it right there, and then I'll be able to put a bolt through this hole into that and put a nut on the other side, and it will hold it super strong. Taylor stopped by. It's time to see the new brake. I feel like this man was the most concerned about the brake situation.
The brakes didn't work, so yeah.
I made these brakes for you, Taylor.
Wow. That's a big cylinder.
Tools.
That's nice.
I used tools to hold it on.
Wow, it's like really mounted to the frame.
Yeah, try it.
Oh, it feels so much better than the last ones. Don't buy cylinders off of Temu because they don't work.
I gotta use this flashlight because we have no lights in the shop right now. Point the flashlight, tack, weld. I finally have a functioning prototype. It took way too long, but we can shift this machine. It's a very momentous occasion because it's the first thing we've built on Bum that can actually shift. Got a linkage here that goes down to here. It bends right here, so I'm gonna put a nut like this and weld it to that bar. And then it comes around here to these brackets right there. And then finally comes around to this mess into there and shifts our machine. So along with making the go-kart just a better go-kart in general, because we broke a lot of things in the first test drive, I'm also gonna be adding this switch panel that I made so that you have an easy kill switch and an easy start switch. Because right now, the start switch is above your head where the turbos are gonna be, and the kill switch is in between your crotch. And Katie couldn't figure out the kill switch when she got in trouble on the go-kart last time, which I think is super dangerous. And I'm just working on making this machine that we built in 24 hours a better machine and a safer machine. For our first run, we were using these little tiny Hoosier tires, which look really cool, but we annihilated them going 80 miles an hour. So Tyson hooked us up with these bigger tires, but the only problem was the inner diameter was too small to fit our go-kart. So I brought them to my uncle, who lives right down the road, and he 3D printed this cool little piece that looks way too official to be on a Bum project. Fit it in the hole, hit it with a drill press, and now we have way beefier front tires, which are gonna probably hold up to 120 miles an hour.
Oh, holy shit. Oh my god. That's sprayed everywhere.
That's nice and clean.
Mm.
So typically, if you were building a proper twin turbo setup on a nice car, you'd have a reverse rotation turbo so that your housings weren't exactly the same. But because these came off the exact same car, they are in the exact same orientation, which presents a little bit of a problem because the housings on the turbo point in the same direction, which means the exhaust points in the same direction, and it looks a little wonky. But this is a Bum project, and it will work, and it still looks pretty cool. I finally got the body of the turbo rotated to where I want it to be. Now I've just got to rotate the outer housing around so that it can just plumb in straight into the airbox. And then we can figure out how to mount this thing. My idea here is to take this piece of exhaust that slips over this quite nicely very firm fit. And I'm just gonna cut 2 slits in it, jam it into the turbo, weld it onto this. This is cast iron, so it's not gonna be the best welds. And then we can put a V-band around it and it will hold it on very nicely. Not the best weld job in the world, but that is definitely gonna hold the turbo on. I've got both turbos mounted and they are looking awesome, but we are running into a problem. Taylor and I cut a giant hole out of the airbox for the Coleman 1000, and you can't shove boost into there. So I think I'm gonna go out and see if I can maybe find a sheet of aluminum or some thick plastic. Walmart for the win. Nowhere else can you get a sheet of aluminum for $1.58. We ran out of steel at the shop, so we're just getting conduit from Home Depot. This should be good enough to strengthen the frame.
It looks pretty nice.
The problem is right now we don't have a triangle on our frame, so you could just jump on it and it bounces. Like when you hit any bump, you bottom out. So we want to try to change that with some conduit from Home Depot.
It's nice. So before, as you know, this body had major flex. Like, it would bottom out if you hit a little bump, basically.
We need stiff when we're going for 300 horsepower.
Yeah, we need stiff. I think it's going to be pretty solid now, especially with the other engine mount, so.
We're gonna paint tomorrow, finally. Today is a very exciting day.
Yeah, we have the go-kart pretty much sorted out. We got some support on there. The Wii steering wheel's looking great. The turbos look awesome.
All we gotta do is finish the plumbing to the turbo, so then the kart is actually functionally going to drive.
Our issue, though, is it's kind of ugly. And we have this, which right now, kind of ugly, kind of broken, but that's all right. So basically today, we're gonna figure out a way to plop this on here, make it look nice, paint everything, and hopefully it will look better.
Markers, so we're using the dust on the go-kart body to draw what we need to cut. It does work pretty well, not gonna lie. But right now, the F1 car is just like way too high. It needs to go probably, what would you say, like 6 inches down?
Let me see. 6 inches.
Taylor barely fits in here.
I basically don't fit.
Is that where your feet are? Like, are your feet like touching the pedals right now?
Yes. Wait, let me see the steering wheel. Watch this.
The Wii steering wheel is literally the only thing that fits in this cart. And you got the turbos right behind your head.
Yeah.
Just chilling. Creation.
Oh, is it still just...
Yeah, I haven't wired the switches yet. No explosion on the fuel. Are we ready to do this?
Are we? Are we ready for this?
I'm not ready for it. Let's go!
F1 car has been a blast to build. We're really excited to take it on the street next week and see what it can do. Shout out to all our Patreon members, and if you haven't got a Bum Original tee, what are you doing? Go hit the link below, bummotorsport.com, and get yourself one before they're all out.
That was pretty fire.
That was good.
That was a lot.
Listen to this lady. Go buy a
Listen to
Bum
me.
Original tee.
What the fuck? Meditation.
Meditation.
No one wants.
Go out.
You have to meditate.